To better understand the will of the elementals and commune with them, Gridania is governed by the Seedseer Council, a body comprised of officials known as hearers. The hearers are selected from the most talented conjurers, who are able to commune with the elementals and decide the course of the city-state through discussion and consensus. The Seedseer Council conducts its business at an area within Gridania known as the Lotus Stand, an open-air area so the elementals may watch the proceedings. While decisions here are often put to a vote, policies sometimes reflect the will of the elementals rather than those of the hearers. With the coming of the Garlean invasion and the Seventh Umbral Calamity, however, it was decided that the time required to debate would be better spent making decisive action. Gridania's fate was so uncertain that Canesena, elder Seedseer and head of the council, was granted the full power of the council and assumed direct control over all decisions, an arrangement which continues to present day. Traditionally, the elder Seedseer of the council would reside in the Hauk Manor estate, but over time, this became seen by the citizens as a symbol of excess. The elder Seedseer, before the previous, agreed with this assertion and sold off the estate to the wealthy Dartengors family. The eldest of 3 Pajali siblings, Canesena is blessed or cursed with the gift of prophecy. Her visions being hauntingly clear and detailed, Kanae predicted a fire and locust infestation before the age of 6, earning her a position as hearer. Once achieving the position of elder Seedseer, she left the city to live in the forest with her siblings, where she served by communing with the elementals until returning to Gridania to deal with the impending Garlean threat. There, she oversaw the creation of Gridania's grand company, the Order of the Twin Adder. In 1562 of the 6th Astral Era, the Order of the Twin Adder was formally founded to confront the growing Garlean threat. The Grand Company takes its name from the 2 entwined serpents emblazoned on Gridania's flag, and carries the same meaning of unity. There was criticism of the emblem being used, as it represented the 80% Huer and Elezen inhabitants, but not the other races inhabiting the city-state. Ultimately, Gridania kept the emblem, as they wished to fly the same flag that waved over their victory in the Autumn War. As an additional bonus, the emblem was a reminder of the assistance of Limsa-Lominsa, Ul'dah, and Ishgard during the conflict. The Order of the Twin Adder is comprised of 4 primary units and a 5th auxiliary unit. The Blue Badgers is a unit of engineers and sappers that lead the foraging and crafting efforts. They recruit from the Disciples of the Hand and Land guilds located within Gridania, such as the Woodworking, Leatherworking, and Botany guilds located within the city. The Red Otters, an elite combat unit formed of select lancers, archers, and conjurers from their respective guilds. The White Wolves, youth who wish to serve in Gridania's armed forces serve in this unit. The Black Boars provide logistics and support for other units, comprised of retired woodwhalers and God's Quiver soldiers. In the 6th Astral Era, the Twin Adder stood apart from the woodwhalers and God's Quiver. While all 3 branches cooperated with one another, it wasn't until the 7th Umbral Calamity that the whalers and bows were officially absorbed into the Twin Adder. Seeing the need to better deal with external threats, a 5th division of the Twin Adder was added, known as the Yellow Serpents. It is comprised of adventurers who are better equipped to venture beyond the Black Shroud to deal with those external threats. Each of these divisions is symbolized by an animal, which represents a cardinal direction. It is a combination of the Eastern 4 Guardians and the 4 directions of the Native American medicine wheel. The colors are derived from Eastern mythology: blue for east, red for south, white for west, and black for north, with a central yellow dragon or serpent serving as a center point between them all. The animals are loosely based on Native American traditions, though which specifically each is drawn from is up for debate. In the tradition of the Zuni tribe, the badger was associated with the south, and also with agriculture. The wolf represented the east and represented working together for the good of the group. The otter, while not associated with a specific direction, is often representative of playfulness, as they believed life was too short to only fill with tasks. However, when things get serious, they devote all their energy and effort to defending their home and their loved ones. Finally, the boar, while also not associated with a cardinal direction, is a symbol of life and fertility. While a social creature, it is suspicious and wary of strangers, much like the citizens of Gridania. These combinations appear again in the actual layout of the city proper, the gates serving as access points into and out of the city. The Blue Badger Gate serves as the primary entrance at the south end of the city, connecting to the main area of the Central Shroud. The White Wolf Gate lies to the southwestern edge of the city and the western portion of the Central Shroud, which was heavily damaged during the Calamity. On the westernmost edge of the city, just north of Still-Laid Fane and Nuffic's Altar, lies the Yellow Serpent Gate. Added only after the Calamity, making it the newest entrance to the city, the Yellow Serpent Gate opens to the North Shroud. The Black Boar Gate lies at the northern edge of the city, but at the time of this recording during Endwalker, the gate has remained shut since ARR, guarded by a lone sentry named Gathan, who directs all visitors to the West Shore Pier. The Red Otter Gate, while an access point, serves as a floodgate to the Jedi Flood through Figaga's Gift, an enormous water wheel at the southern tip of the city. Figaga's Gift was designed by an immigrant shipwright who wished to express his thanks for the kindness shown to him by the watermill's keeper. However, he perished before it could be built. His daughter, Figaga, worked for 10 long years to make the engineering wonder her father designed a reality. Known as a major landmark, the water wheel features an enclosed design for the blades of its wheel, a design which can be seen replicated on a much smaller scale in other areas of the city. One of the most notable aspects of Gridania are the Conjurers of Still-Laid Fane. Stretching forth beneath the roots of a mighty tree, Still-Laid Fane exists as a space for quiet contemplation of conjurers. Many use the silent cavern to seek the whispering voices of the elementals. Descended from the knowledge used by the Gelmorans to communicate with the elementals, Conjury focused on harnessing the power of nature to prevent the dangerous abuse of magic that led to the 6th Umbral Calamity. From this grew the Conjurers Guild, which teaches adventurers seeking to learn the art of conjury. The Pajali, which serve as mentors and guides to the Conjurers Guild, also safeguard the forbidden secrets of white magic. As they are naturally attuned to the whispers of the elementals, they serve as a living link between the elementals and humanity. The elementals, being comprised purely of aether, perceive the aether-draining nature of white magic as a direct threat to their existence, and labored for centuries to prevent its secrets from re-entering the world. Nearly 500 years prior to the 7th Umbral Calamity, the elementals at last relented and allowed the legacy of Amdapor, white magic, to be wielded by the chosen few, the Pajal, with few notable exceptions. While Gridania also specializes in the martial practice of archery and lancecraft, Gridania's primary reliance on restorative magic and defense offered by the hedge lends it to long, protracted engagements that generally rely on attrition rather than overwhelming military might. Located within the Oak Atrium, the Carpenters Guild of Gridania supplies the weapons needed to defend the forest, but also supplies the resources for all aspects of life in Gridanian society. As Gridania grew, so too did the sophistication of the city's carpentry, building water-powered wood mills that allowed Gridania to increase the scale and efficiency of their woodworking, from building materials to tools and weapons. Owing to this, Gridania's carpenters are considered to be among the finest in the world. After the unification of the city-states of Aldenard in the face of impending Garlean invasion, Gridania saw trade flourish. The Leatherworkers Guild was founded to ensure fair and equitable distribution of leathers and skins gathered from the Trappers League, to be worked, marketed, and sold by the retail side of the guild, known as Fen Eel Fineries. While the exact age of Fen Eel is unknown, the origin of the name is likely Gelmoran, given the syntax. Regardless, only the most skilled leatherworkers are permitted to bear the Fen Eel name, making their products the most reputable in the region. Near the entrance of Gridania, one can find the ebony and rosewood stalls. These stalls provide various necessities to the citizens of Gridania, but the name of the stalls are what make them interesting. Rooted in an old Gridanian folktale, the stalls are named after the instruments carried by two children. When a child of the elementals died, they withdrew themselves in grief. Soon, Gridania was covered in a blanket of snow. As the trees froze and the animals of the forest fled, the people grew disheartened. Seeking food for their parents who had lost the will to live, the brother and sister entered the 12's Wood, and before long became separated in the dark. However, they carried an ebony zither and a rosewood pipe, and they began to play in the dark to find one another. The beauty of the melodies they played roused the elementals from their stupor, and dispelled the cold that had settled over the forest. Lastly, Gridania is known for its mastery of botany. Tracing its roots to the founding of the city, an organization was founded to ensure that the bounty collected from the forest had the blessing of the elementals. Asking which things were suitable to be gathered, though, required a hearer. Before long, a group had formed around these intermediaries in order to better understand the intentions of the elementals, and the Botanist Guild was formed. The Botanist Guild still performs that same function today, but also maintains the Great Loam Growery, home to some of the richest and most fertile soil in the 12's Wood. It used to belong to a wealthy family of merchants. However, in an unexpected act of faith-inspired philanthropy, the family donated the land to Gridania in the name of the goddess Nofika.